Good evening. Welcome to Dan United. I'm with Kev United, and boy, oh boy, have we got stuff to talk about tonight. Well, how's your day been, Kev?
Dead busy at work. I didn't know anything about it until you text me, actually, and I don't even know how long after you text me that I picked that up. But no, I knew nothing about it until you'd said that. I was just too busy at work. But yeah, I've had a little look at stuff since I got back, as we were just talking about there. I've just what's on Sky Sports and just listened to what he'd said, because I hadn't listened to his interviews or anything from yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah.
Yesterday, I hadn't listened to anything from yesterday, so indifferent is, I think, the word we both used. I think is just feeling a bit, whatever.
Look, it has been a whirlwind 24 hours, Manchester United fans. I'm going to go through your comments, but I want to say a few things first. Now, look, the game yesterday, the reason I cancelled the stream last night is because I saw the comments and I thought he was going to get sacked last night. So I thought, I'm not going to be in the game. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I wanted to wait. Look, let's clear the elephant in the room first and foremost, right? As a manager, head coach. We're not saying manager. As head coach, you cannot come out and say what he said. Do I think he was right to say what he said? Absolutely. And I think we have been given a massive eye-opener as to what INEOS have been up to behind the scenes. I think they've been very happy to watch this manager take all the flack, which we've seen this manager take all the flack. We've given him flack. We've given him plenty of flack. But ultimately, the results were not good enough. But what I don't like is the fact that Manchester United today have come out and utilised the results as the problem. Now, I can go back to the press conference last night, and there were some things that he said, which we all know. But the main things for me that come out with was, I came here to be manager of Manchester United, not the head coach of Manchester United. This is clear. I know my name is not Tuchel, Conte, Mourinho, but I am the manager of Manchester United. It's going to be like this for 18 months or when the board decides to change. He added he wouldn't quit, which we kind of knew he was never going to quit. And actually, if you remember, I said yesterday, this guy will die on his sword. He was already saying crazy things. He was already doing crazy things. We know from news today that there was a meeting with Wilcox where Jason Wilcox basically said, Ruben, this formation ain't working. We need you to change it slightly. He was absolutely furious. And I think the reason he was furious was because he was promised the fucking earth. And do I agree with Ruben Amorim's tactics at Manchester United? I don't. I've been very, very vocal about that. I've been very clear about that. I have been saying for a long time that this manager needed to adapt. It's the Premier League. It's not Portugal. Do I think that this manager was promised the earth when he joined? Well, yeah, I absolutely do. There's no other excuse for how angry this man got towards the end. It was infuriating for him. Now, for him to be as successful as he wanted to be, Manchester United would have to have spent upward of 600 million. I don't even feel foolish saying that. It was the wrong time for him to stick to his guns. He has a 39%, I think, is it? Let me have a look. The record, it's 31.9% win ratio at Manchester United in the Premier League. 47 games, 15 wins, 13 draws, 19 losses. Now, I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to go down the route of a lot of the aggregates today, because a lot of them are saying this is it now. INEOS have got to go. And yeah, do you know something? INEOS should be ashamed. Wilcox should be ashamed. Vivell should be ashamed. But I am not going to sit here and defend a man who has got our worst record in Premier League history. I'm not going to defend a man who has got the worst record ever for Manchester United. Post-war, I'm not going to defend it. The guy should have done the right thing at the start of the season when he realised that this formation was not going to work. But then he backtracks. He changes it against Newcastle United. We go to the back four and everyone says, brilliant, this is what we wanted. Second half, he throws another few defenders on and goes to the back 6, 7, whatever you want to call it. Then against Wolverhampton Wanderers, who were bottom of the table with 2 points all season, he chose to go to a back 3. After going at the press, after mocking the press, that's what he chose to do. Now, unfortunately, Ruben, yes, I agree. You've been hung out to dry for the wrong reasons. But when I look at this as a Manchester United fan, this should have happened at the end of last season. There was no way that this was going to be able to continue. There was no way that we had the money to do what you wanted to do. There was no way. And Wilcox can get in the bin. Barada can get in the bin. Sir Jim can get in the bin. But ultimately, when I look at this as a footballing perspective here, yes, we are 6th in the table. And that's fantastic. And I've seen everyone say that today. But hang on a minute. We're 6th in the table. Yes, we are 6th in the table because the league is an absolute fucking shit show this season. If this was a regular season, we would be languishing in 12th. And I guarantee a lot of the fans would be saying, this isn't good enough. So I appreciate the fact, yes, do you know something? The manager should not have been allowed to continue doing what he was doing tactically. But then we flip it, and I will say this, and I will defend him. If you come into a job at Manchester United, this isn't Salford City, this isn't Shrewsbury Town. If you are brought in and you are told, Ruben, we are gonna get this player, we're gonna get this player, we're gonna give you time to build the system. Well, then I don't know how else he was gonna react. So for me, a footballing situation, absolutely the right call. But I do thank Ruben Amorim for doing exactly what he did last night, which is come out and he said, hang on a second. You said I'd get this. You said I'd get that. I had this, and you haven't done it. So I respect the fact that he made that last stand because we've cried out for a manager to do that for a while. But in a footballing sense, this man was arrogant to the end. Against Leeds, in his own words, saying that we do not have the players for this formation. He still continued to do so. Yesterday against Leeds, he kept all the subs on the bench bar Xerxes when we were dead on our feet. We were dead on our feet. You saw Casemiro was knackered. Ugarte was knackered. Dorgu was knackered. Cunha was knackered. He chose to keep them on the pitch to make a point to the board. This is what I've got. You live by the sword and you die by the sword, Kev. I don't know what you think about this. It is. I'll finish on this.
No more than that, Dan. No more than what you...
I'll finish on this. Look, I'll finish on this. And then I'll bring you in. It's like a divorce on a Netflix movie when the beautiful lovers, they just don't want to be there anymore. And unfortunately, there's both at fault here. They are both at fault. Ruben is at fault for what he did on the football pitch. INEOS are at fault for what they promised off the pitch. And I will say this as well quickly. INEOS, you better get this fucking right next. Because you got lucky with Ruben Amorim. You got lucky that the results were piss poor. You got lucky that the fans were starting to turn on the fact that his formation was wrong. The next manager you bring in, people are saying we got to bring a little bitch in. We got to bring yes men in. That might be the case for the interim, but the next manager, you got to back him because I tell you something, Wilcox won't outlast another manager with these promises that aren't met. Kev, I'll let you start.
I mean, I don't have any more to say than that. What else can I say? You've said everything. There's a few hypocrites already creeping out of the woodwork as well from the little clips I've heard. Oh, I feel bad for Ruben. No, you don't. No, you don't. You were slagging the back off him the whole season, and now, I feel a bit bad. No, you don't. Rubbish, utter rubbish. Yeah. He wanted to get sacked after the last.
Agree, 100% agree with that.
He has been, and that's it. It's almost already. Let's move on.
With the comments, I'll come through the comments quickly because we've had a bit of a monologue here. So Parv says, hi, Dan, it's not the sacking, it's the egos of this shit board who can't even back their manager or words. I firstly think they take the piss out of themselves. I think even dogs can run this club better. Absolutely. I'm not saying that Amorim was a good manager, but they should have given him signings or backing in January and wait till June. And who knows, we're already screwed. Before I go on that point, I said to you all that if they didn't back him in January, they were getting rid of him. Apparently, the reports were that they were getting rid of him. They'd already decided before Leeds. Watch Man United go into the market now. Watch Man United go into the market. Dan, good to see you, mate. He says, evening, not quite sure how I feel about today. Chappie says, evening, everyone. Seems Amorim was only head coach, not manager as promised. Like they say, too many cooks spoil the broth. Dan says, I can't see us signing anyone in January. Really think we should bring in Solskjaer until the summer. We've got more on that. We'll talk about the management side of it. Andy says, evening all, it's the best decision for all parties. I agree with that. Waha says, ding dong, the fraud is gone. Which old fraud? The wicked fraud. Wow. Steve-O, good to see you, says, wowzer. Jamie says, evening, Dan and Kev. Hope you're well. We absolutely are. Jordan, Brian Brigade, the birth of Brian Brigade. This man here says, Dan, I don't know how to feel. I think it's the right choice, but this board is a joke and want a yes man that comes in. Good evening, Wahaha, after that. Good evening, Blowy. Hope you're well. Sophie says, raise your hand if you're a happy Man United fan today. He has gone. Look, I'm happy he's gone. And I will raise, I'm happy he's gone. But I think Manchester United utilised the fucking wrong reasons. I think they used the results as a cop-out. If it was the results, like Sam on United People's TV said, he should have been gone after Brentford. He should have been, because that was poor. They are going to use
Everton as well.
Everton.
That was a terrible result.
Exactly that. And make sure you smash the likes, as Queen Sophie says, and make sure if you're new, hit the subscribe button, and please make sure you do so. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. Carl says, evening all, brutal honesty from me tonight will be the name of the game, and we're here for that. That's what I want. Crazy the board made the decision this quick. He then says, I'm not happy at all. Which one are you then? Which one are you? That's a 7 Watt, Snow White and 7 Dwarfs joke. Steve-O says, INEOS shouldn't have hired Amorim in the first place if they weren't going to fully bankroll him. But United style of play was bad, better as front-footed attacking team. I thought we were shit. I thought towards the end, we were in a false position. We were shit. And again, I'll say it one more time. Yes, he deserved to be sacked, but not for the reasons that they're saying. They're being very snaky for what they're saying. The whole club from the top to the bottom is rotten, says Carl. I agree with that. Blary says, Amorim deserved to be sacked, but the board makes decisions in seconds and they're they are egotistical. After his comments yesterday, I'm sure he tried to sabotage the last couple of games, starting at Newcastle second half. Now, I'll come to the rest of the comments. Don't worry, we're going to get through all of them, I promise. There are reports that he trained before, I think it was Wolves and I think Leeds, with a back four, and then flipped it to the back three. This guy, I'll ask the question, like you said, Kev, did he want to get sacked in the end? Did he look and go, I don't fancy this?
It did yesterday, but I think somebody's commented, I can't remember who said it as you were going through there's definitely a lot to do with him. He wanted, or he thought, or he'd been told he's the manager of the club and not just the coach. I think that the point he made there, going, naming these other managers and going, you know what, I wanted to be the manager. I thought I was the manager, and I'm obviously not. So actually, I mean, we'll hear more as it comes. But is it just going to just be because of that? Do you think?
This ain't done yet. Yeah, this is just getting started. There is going to be a massive fallout from this. I guarantee it. Carl says, why did he deserve to be sacked? He wasn't backed like he was told he was going to be. Carl, I disagree with this. I don't disagree. I'll tell you why he deserved to be sacked. For the results. Not for anything else, just the results. I can take what he said in the press last night because I've been craving a manager who is still employed by Manchester United to call out the board for years. But his results, the formation, the way we played, his constant favour of some players was just too much. And if you look at it on a results basis alone, 15 wins out of 47, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It was the right decision on results.
It's almost you look at it and go, I don't know how we've managed to be sixth in the league with what's happened, really.
Exactly this.
Just down to everybody else. But that's not our fault. I think the league's going to be like that for a few seasons. This league that we've seen, the way the results are going, I think it'll be like that for a few seasons until some more teams get established or more established, like us.
I agree. I suppose we'll start seeing Manu next and a back four, but we still need midfielders and a left wing. Absolutely. Look, this isn't the fix of Manchester United. I'm not sat here saying that's it now. United could go on and be this incredible team. There is so much work to be done with this team. But I just wonder what that work will look like now when we play a different formation. How we will play against teams in the Premier League with this formation. We are in one cup, people. The FA Cup, and we've got Brighton on Sunday, okay? This season is in danger of falling to fucking pieces, and it would have fell to pieces with him in charge because we don't have a gap between us and 14th. We have one chance of winning a trophy this season, and I didn't back us to do that. 200 million to spend, but then forced players on him he didn't want. I agree with that. He wanted Martinez, but I'm happy with Le Mans, so I'm not bothered about that. The one I agree with was he wanted Watkins. He got Sesko, and I think that was. I think we should have got Watkins. I said that in the summer as well. Fletcher will do as he's told, 4-3-3 and come in. Fletcher uses a 4-2-3-1, so I don't think it's the yes side of it. I'm just looking forward to the double pivot of the Fletcher twins. To be fair, what player was forced? He wanted Watkins. Yep, we've gone through that one. Thank you, Blowy. Fletcher used various formations, but his team like width and attack with space. They do, guys. Look, let's say one thing for clear here. We are about to see Brian Mbeumo when he's back on the right-hand side, wide right. We are about to see Cunha on the wide left. We are going to see Bruno Fernandes back in that 10 role, okay, that free role. I think if he'd have changed the formation, if he'd have just fucking listened, if he'd have just forgot about his pride, man, and gone to the formation.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Then I think he could have gone and done something, but he just didn't want to do it.
It's more infuriating that he's done it in a couple of games and then abandoned it again. That's more infuriating when you could see it did sort of work better, and it's infuriating. That's infuriating to me, but just didn't think I would feel as indifferent about him going, actually, because I liked him, but I just liked the person rather than him as our manager in the end. And I was starting to tip off the fence with him because of the subs he was making, as well as anything else. When we did have players that could have come on and changed the game, and that Everton game was a massive cock up against 10 men. It was
horrendous. It absolutely was. Absolutely was. Let me just get through some more of these comments. There is blame all over, not just the manager, but yeah, I agree with that. It's a great comment. Both parties were at fault. Agree. Finally, Free says United. So Watkins wouldn't have scored more. I think Watkins would have scored more goals than Sesko this season. I'm a little concerned about Sesko. I thought I loved his hold-up play against Leeds, but I watched it back, and I'm sure you did, Kev. You're a sucker for punishment like me. And the chances he's missing, they're not very good chances to be missing.
You know what they say is in the positions. That's the comeback to that.
Correct. I'm not writing him off. I'm not writing him off. I'm not doing that.
And maybe he'll be better in a different system.
Yeah, the system. Amorim is passed. Thank you, Jesus. If our computer issues, it's Control Alt Delete and Restart. That's what United have done. Fletcher is without experience. I don't prefer him for coach.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about Fletcher as well. I'm a little bit worried.
I tell you what, look, I'm gonna. There's a lot of comments. I'm gonna try and get through some of them, but yes, make sure you're smashing the likes. Adam says, I think because of how bad we've been, why would you give Amorim full control on transfers and also sign more players for him? Facts. Dan, will Fletcher make signings? Fletcher won't be in charge that long. I can promise you that. We need a Ruben Piers Morgan.
Immediately. We need somebody immediately, yeah.
Ben, I agree with this. I think this would be fucking box office. The results are down to him not being fully backed. Yeah, but Carl, they're not though, are they? Carl. They're not.
It's not just. There's an element to it. There's a little bit of, but that's not. I would agree. That's not what it is. It just refusal to change when it clearly wasn't working. It could have changed so early in the season.
And I agree with Wahaha here. Wahaha says if we played attractive football, I give him some leeway. But it was fucking woeful. Mustafa says 3 wins in 11 games, lost to Spurs in the final, lost to Grimsby. I mean, that's just sackable as it is. United says we need United ex-player for manager. Like Solskjaer was pretty good to me. He knew about the club. He was our player. He brings his badge on his heart. Look, I tell you what. I'm going to say this right now, and this is something that I've been reading today. That it's going to be Fletcher for 1 to 2 games. They're looking at Carrick, but Fabrizio's come out and said that Ollie is waiting, and I think at this point in time, regardless, we should not appoint a manager now. No manager mid-season. Let's not do that. Let's bring interim. Let's just say we bring in Ollie, who understands the assignment. He understands that, Ollie, look, you ain't having this full time, but we need you to come back, and we need you to bring that good time feel. I think he is the perfect person until the end of the season to come in and do stuff with this squad. I absolutely think he is. I genuinely, you can't give it Fletcher. You can't give it Fletcher to the end of the season. And you know something? We're all sat here saying, oh, Fletcher this. Fletcher might not even fucking want it. Fletcher refused to coach one of the youth teams because his sons were in the team. He said, I'm not doing that. Now he's obviously got that situation where they're both in the first team. I don't think Fletcher wants it to the end of the season. And I don't think United will do that. Because let's be fair here. Fletcher could... Everyone's writing us off saying it's Fletcher to the end of the season. Fletcher could go to Burnley and lose. Fletcher could go against Brighton and lose. They won't keep him for that. They will already be looking at the interim. And it will be an ex-player. I guarantee that. It will be an ex-player who comes in. It will be Carrick or it will be Ollie. It will be one of them.
I'd take either of those.
You would, wouldn't you? You would.
Yeah, either more than Fletcher, yeah.
Carl says, here's my question. If we play 4-2-3-1 under Fletcher and lose to Burnley and Brighton, what are people going to say? I think I've just gone on that one. Jamie says, I do think we will look better now with a better system. I think Fletcher will play attacking, free-flowing football like he played in. Just hope he doesn't keep playing his sons. Do you know what, Jamie? I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think his sons actually will probably be in a position here where they won't get much football. They won't because, newsflash, Kobe Mainoo will be fit for Burnley. Mount will be fit for Burnley. Okay, wouldn't surprise me if Maguire's fit for Burnley. And I'm not saying that they've lied about their injuries. I think now they will be pushing as hard as they can to get back and get in that team. Ben says compensations, Moyes 4.9, LVG 8.4. Yeah, Jose, there is a lot. Yeah, there absolutely is a lot. There is a lot. But you know something? Out of all those managers, Moyes, it was wrong from the start. LVG, I hated LVG in charge of United. I know he won us the FA Cup, but again, it was so boring. Jose Mourinho should have been backed, I think, more. He only got backed with Fred in his last season after doing so well the season before. But then there was already the usual with Jose Mourinho. Falling out with Pogba, falling out with Luke Shaw. He was hell-bent on destroying Luke Shaw. Fell out with Rashford. Then you got Ollie. Ollie, 9.1 million. Ollie's Ollie. I'll always love Ollie. Ralph didn't get 14.7 million. Surely not, because he was interim unless we're talking about the sporting director side of it. Fuck me. Ten Hag, 10 million. Out of all of them, I don't know which ones you literally sit there and go, fucking hell, we should have kept them. I don't. I just don't. I just don't. City signed UEFA Champions League winner goalkeeper. We signed Le Mans. I'm not having anything going against Lemmy. Is fucking quality. Lemmy is going to be.
He's probably saved us a few losses.
I agree. He saved us the record at Old
Trafford. Anyway, points. He saved us points.
He never wanted to change. All top managers do end up. Yeah, I agree. And look, we can go round and round in circles with this. We absolutely can go round and round in circles with this. But the fact of the matter is, Andy is right. He never wanted to change. He had an absolute blow up at Jason Wilcox when Wilcox said, you know something, Ruben, you need to change the system. And yes, I go back to, he may have been promised the fucking earth by Wilcox. But for the players he had now, for the players he had available to continue to play a formation that didn't work with our best players available, why the fuck are you going to do it with players that are not there? You're opening yourself up. Opening yourself up for that one. But if he had full control over the transfers, we would have got midfielders and the striker he wanted for the system. But, okay, Carl, where was the money coming from? Where was the money coming from for us to afford to bring all of these players in? We don't have money. We have 60 million that we were looking at for Semenyo. It has been openly admitted that Manchester United are using the credit card at the moment. It has been openly shown that we are absolutely skin toss. He wanted Brian. He wanted Cunha. That cost, 130, 140 million for them too? We were never going to be able to... The only one I agree with is the Sesko one. I think we should have got Watkins, but we didn't have the money. We didn't have the money. No Champions League football cost us massively. No European football cost us massively. It all adds up. Louis says, good to see you, Louis. He says, I'm sorry to sport a sack of shit. Amorim sacked because he spoke his mind. Absolute farce. Get rid of these idiots. I agree. I agree to a certain extent there. I agree that they are a sack of shit. And I agree that he was sacked because he spoke his mind. I agree. But I think he deserved the sack for his results alone. Paul says, we need to try at least and get Unai Emery in now. That would be my choice. Whether the pull of United would make him come, he ain't. I can tell you now, there is more chance of Mrs. Robinson coming upstairs, giving me the bank card and saying, go to Spearmint Rhino, take Kev with there, go and spend as much as you want. Get as many pictures for me as you can. It ain't happening. It's my opinion. I won't change it and be sheep like managers Man United board. Carl, respect that, but I ain't a sheep either, mate. I ain't a sheep either. It's your opinion and I respect it, but I'm not a sheep. I am not a sheep. I base everything on what I see when we play football. And at the moment, we are playing dog shit football. If he'd have got backed more and brought more players in, could it have changed? Possibly. But at this point in time, with the players available, he chose week in, week out to play a system that was being pulled apart. We had to listen to Iwobi, fucking Alex Iwobi at Fulham, come out and dismantle our tactics. That's a player. I love you, Carl. You know that. You know that. What I'd like, Carrick for interim and make good of the rest of the season to pick targets and do proper interviews. It'll be Carrick or Ollie. I don't think it'll be anyone else.
What about Rude?
Rude? No, I think Rude's had his fingers burnt, and also he was fucking appalling at Leicester. He was fucking appalling. Absolutely appalling. Carl says people seem to forget why Dan Ashworth left too because he was unhappy with the structure and transfer policy. Yes. But Dan Ashworth also didn't want Ruben Amorim. He wanted Gareth Southgate. Can you imagine the fucking lols if that had have happened? Fucking hell. Jeez.
What if he came in and do a great job for us? We'd all be bloody eating our words then, wouldn't we?
I don't think I
could happen. It could happen.
I don't think I could bring myself to that. I genuinely don't think I could bring myself. Amorim, he wanted to. Ashworth wanted Thomas Frank. Fucking hell, glad we didn't get him. Look what he's doing. Ashworth was another one who didn't agree with something and spoke up. True, I agree with that, Ben. Whoever comes, is a pressure being the manager for United. Every mistake is your last. Who's your ideal replacement, lads? In my opinion, I would like a proven Premier League manager that's played us a few times. Someone like Glasner, okay. Who would you take, Kev? Well, in fact, chat, give me who you would take as your ideal manager. It's a great question. And Carl, don't worry, mate. I know it wasn't. I bit then. Sorry, mate.
Glasner he plays the same system, and we can't play that system. So that's the only downfall with Glasner if he's going to come in and play the system when it's been proven we don't have the players to play in it. I really don't know. I've given it virtually no thought at all. It's all happened so fast today. I mean, Unai Emery is the name that's been mentioned a couple of times, and I think it was Simon Jordan has said he would move to Man United in a heartbeat because it's Man United, and one of the biggest clubs in the world. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows who it'll be? The interim, I've got no issue with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming in and doing the job, or Michael Carrick. I think they both did all right when they were at the club. So we'll see. If Solskjaer is good to go, then I would say try and get him there for Burnley. Basically, I'd rather have that if he's good, if he's ready to go.
Here's an interesting thing as well, and people who love Ruben Amorim, right? I saw this video today, and it oh god, I'm swearing tonight, but it fucking infuriated me, and it's so true. What happened when Ollie got sacked? Do you remember the video he did?
Not really.
He was in floods of tears. He was emotional. It was all about United for him. It was all about trying to make the best that he could of the club. I'm watching Ruben Amorim here, walking down the street with his business,
he's happy,
high-fiving people. That is absolutely...
He wanted to go, Dan.
He wanted to go.
These are the clips I've seen that have made me think, you know what, with what he said in these little clips, there's another one of his as well, he's in the car with his son. He wanted to go. I think he's quite happy. I think the pressure was massive on him. It wasn't. I think he's been fairly, clear all the way through that the pressure's massive for Man United. And
how many times did he threaten to quit?
Yeah, so it's happened and it's done, and we're literally, because of where we are in the league, we need to move on really quickly from it and not fanny about now, because we could see ourselves falling down the league if we don't get someone in quick that's going to do a better job. It's not going to be that much difficult, is it? No.
Do you know who my ideal replacement is?
Go on.
Sam Allardyce. Joking. I'm joking. My ideal replacement would look. The dream would be Unai Emery. I would. Yeah. Oh my god! I would crawl through broken glass to massage his stinking shit into a love letter. I really would. But for me, I'd go straight to Iriola now. I'd say, Iriola, this is your chance now. Let's you come and do it, because his football is exciting. He has had to deal with his team being depleted season after season. People come in, rip his players apart. He still seems to do something. I would absolutely go out there and get Iriola at the end of the season. Glasner is a good manager, but he wants the same formation. Now, he is adaptable. We've seen him adapt to that formation, and he is available on a free transfer at the end of the season, isn't he? You know, he's not renewing his contract, so that's one that might happen. But I would go get Iriola. I fucking love Iriola. I think the guy is majestic. Ben says protests against the owners will be back. Oh yeah, definitely. What's Saeed going to do on Saeed TV? Who's he going to offer in the car park? He's got no one to offer out anymore. It'll be Wilcox. We've gone through that one, Louis. At least Southgate would have played 4-2-3-1. That's what everyone would have wanted. Oh, Carl, you don't have to. Carl, honestly, never apologise. You're not upset anyone. This is what we do.
I'm upset.
Yeah, you're upset. This is what we do, okay? This is what we do on this channel. This is you voicing your opinion, me reading it out, us talking it through. I might not agree with it sometimes. You might not agree with what I say sometimes. But the main thing is, this community, we all have I know not my mic over there. We all have a fucking voice, okay? So don't ever apologise for having an opinion. Never, ever apologise. But if you ever say anything about Amorim staying, I'm joking. No one can help us, Dan. Mark my words, says United. Fucking hell, you've gone from being super happy to gone. Jamie says, would you take... all right, so you've gone with Glasner. I hope we get Bournemouth manager as well. Maresca's waiting for City. Don't even think about Maresca. He's waiting for City. Fraud of the highest caliber, but his system lineups and game management were awful. They absolutely were. Dan, I'm kind of an idiot with the streams. How do I become a mod in your stream? It seems cool. Brown envelope, mate, with 50 quid. I'm joking. I'll have a look at it, Blowy. Don't worry, mate. Guna says, I think United will struggle to get a decent manager. Why would they join? The club is a mess and it could ruin their career. And that is a great question, by the way. That is a great question, because this will send shockwaves. The only thing I think we have going for us here as a club is the fact that he genuinely would not move from that formation when it was so clear it worked. When Wolverhampton Wanderers, who have 2 points on the table, turn up at Old Trafford with confidence and play you off the park, there's problems. There's absolute problems. And I said it after that game. I said he was arrogant. I said he was fraudulent. I respect what he said. Now that Amorim has gone, hear me out. Mainu will play more. We'll absolutely see Mainu play more. Ben says it'll end up being McKenna. They clearly just want a yes man. I hope to God it isn't. I hope to God it fucking isn't. Jesus Christ. This next appointment that Manchester United make as a permanent manager, unfortunately for us, unfortunately for you, Kev, unfortunately for you boys and girls in the chat, is going to tell us everything about this ownership. If they go out there and get a McKenna, well, then you sit there and you go, yeah, we're screwed. And they will probably, if they do bring him in, they will probably dress it up as young up-and-coming coach. You know, he's got bags of potential. This isn't like our transfer fucking targets. We can't go and get these young up-and-coming now. We need experience. We need somebody who has been in the Premier League, somebody who's done well in the Premier League, somebody who knows the Premier League, okay? There's a lot riding on this next appointment, and that is why I genuinely feel like they are going to put the interim in for the end of the season. Not going to give it Fletcher till the end. I think they will have to take their fucking time on this.
Well, if they've known for, so yeah, they should have. I bet they've known for longer than the Leeds match. If they must have known longer for the Leeds match. So I would expect them to have a list, and it not be a short list. It'd be, I mean, ultimately a short list of the people that they actually want. But there should be some names on a list already that have been written down days and days ago, in my opinion. So we're Man United. We don't just sack someone with no clue of what's coming next. Fletcher, one game at the very most. But like I said earlier on, if Ollie's available, just get him that. Just tell him to come in tomorrow and sort the rest out later. Sort the rest out with contracts and all the rest. Just get him down there immediately.
I agree. I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree. I'm just trying to see if there's something else here as well. Fucking IndyCar news going, oh, we told you months ago. It was fucking obvious. Honestly, merchants. Can you imagine? It'll probably be Southgate or Tuchel after the World Cup. Tuchel's not. Honestly, there is an ideology that Tuchel could be the manager if he doesn't do well with England. This club has been in decline since the Glazers took over. They seem to be under the radar at the moment. This should never have happened with the success we had. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Kev, you read this comment out. I'm going to put a poll up, I think.
This time now, it's like the middle 70s, right? As United were nowhere, and then we bring the guy who win the European Cup with Aberdeen, and he became a legend. For me, we need a manager who's still building his image. I suppose you could say that about Amorim. That's maybe what they saw in him, somebody that was still building his image. But yeah, but I don't disagree with that. It's going to be really, really hard to find somebody. The United job's just such a difficult job. What a hard job to come into. I think we're going to. I hope that we've got. There's a list, and we're not just going. Well, now we're looking at and going. Who's available? By the way, is there anybody about that we can get in? Who is available? I hope with that the talks have been going on for a few days at least, minimum a few days.
I agree.
They must have been thinking about this for weeks. Who they could look at for what the future of the club is.
They will know by the reaction, because the reaction has been strong from United fans today. It has. I will say that I don't agree with
There's a lot of people gutted. There's a lot of people gutted that he's left. I've seen a few little TikToks or whatever, little reels of people being, oh no, I can't believe what a bad decision this is. This is ridiculous, and all the rest of it. So it's going to be divided. It's opinion as we've got here. So I'm not. As I said to you at the start, I'm less disappointed about it than I thought I would be. I could see it happening. We talked about it. You'd said about it yesterday. I could see it happening, not today, but over the next couple of matches. I could have seen it happening, but I'm less disappointed about it than I thought I was going to be. I'm just really not that. I'm non-fussed.
Can I just put into perspective here, because the chat don't see what goes on behind the scenes with me and you before we start a game and after we start and after we finish a game. What I will say with Kev is Kev has always been the person when I'm getting angry and frustrated. For the first 10, 12 games of the season, Kev was constantly after the game saying, come on, there are worse things out there. There are blah, 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 than he was. But Kev, for my part with you, the last sort of 5 or 6 games, I've seen it change in you. And I think the biggest bit was the Bournemouth game. I was in New York watching the stream, and you were absolutely furious. You threw a pen.
Yeah,
Kev never throws a pen.
I did. I threw it at the TV.
Ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. Kept getting in front and then just letting them score against us. Really easy. It was so easy to just them go and get. Yeah, I've been getting more frustrated over the last few games. I think it started with the Everton one. Really, that was where I looked at his subs and went, even me with no experience of being a manager, played football at some level, even I would have known how to manage that game better once we'd gone down to 10 men, and he just had no clue. I think there was after a game, I can't remember which game, it might have been that game. You remember I said to you, he was walking up and down the touchline like he was in a daze, like he had no idea what to do. He didn't know what he was doing. He was lost.
Still can't get over the Grimsby one when he couldn't watch the team take penalty. That's something I could never get over. Make sure you vote in the chat, by the way. Who do we back here? INEOS, Amorim, or neither? At the moment, I can tell you 70% are saying neither. I think that means that I think most of us are in the agreement here that it's just been a mess. Dan says I'd like Unai Emery as manager or Nagelsmann. Not holding my breath. More chance it being Big Sam. Warnock would give it a good crack. I saw this as well, by the way, that Ollie is already living back in Manchester. I saw that. I don't think there's a problem with Ollie coming in. I don't think there's a problem with Ollie coming in. I think Ollie would do exactly what we need right now, and that is unite the fans. I think he would get us playing attractive football again, which he did.
It was what he did last time, isn't it? That's exactly what he did last time.
He did. And also, let's not forget, the Ollie situation was the Ronaldo signing. He had built a team. He knew the way he was going to play. Ronaldo comes in.
Got forced on him, yeah.
Fucking lot, didn't he? So Oh, caramba, Beckham. I'd love Beckham to buy this club. Sir David. Ben says, I'm gutted, to be honest. As you know, I've always been back in Brigade, and I get that, Ben. I get that. I absolutely get that. Chappie says, Ollie is a heart choice, not a head choice. As they say, never go back. It is a heart choice, but I think if how do I say this? Ollie needs to be told, if you take this job on, this is not going to be like last time. Even if you put a 15 winning game run together, you ain't taking the reins full time. I mean, that's what needs to happen. And Blowy says, fuck INEOS and Amorim, I'm back in neither, bro. And United says, Nagelsmann can relegate us. I don't know. Nagelsmann had his opportunity at Bayern Munich, didn't he? Is he still at Germany? I think he's still the German coach, isn't he? I think he's still the German coach. Louis says, don't get me wrong, I'm gutted Amorim is gone, but the thing is, he is the type of guy who would speak his mind, but with this board, it's all been about them. If you want success, give the coach, manager the backing. Yes, but at the same time, what I will say is this. To come out and say what he was saying, especially at the start, filled me with worry from that moment. For him to come out and say, I'll walk, I won't take... It said to me that he, I think, realised pretty quick that this job was too big for him. I think he noticed that straight away. The proof was in the pudding with the formation. In the Europa League, all the way to the final, we were scoring goals for fun. Yes, the Lyon game was a bit of a heart scare, but we were so consistent in Europe. Yet when it got to the Premier League, and when we played a Premier League team in Europe, the Europa League final, we were a bag of piss again. We were a bag of piss, and so we were a bag of piss.
I've just never heard the turn of phrase, Dan. You've just got some turn of phrase there.
Yeah, to be fair, I think I've just made that one up. Carl says, my main annoyance is the way it's been handled, to be honest, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it is a nightmare that we won't have to relive anymore. Ben says, they well and truly done him over, brought him in for his style of play, not backed him with the players to enable that style of play, then chuck him under the bus for sticking with that style of play. Do you know what, Ben? Like I've said several times, and poor Kev's had to withstand this so many times when I go around for a coffee, the formation could have worked later on down the line when you get the players in. But for now, what is wrong? There's nothing wrong with saying to the board, look, I'm going to have to go and play a 4-2-3-1 for the rest of the season. But just so you know, when the transfer window's open in the summer, because they weren't going to back him in January, when the transfer window's open, I want those players for this formation. I want to go into the preseason then with these players, and I want to do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But to consistently keep playing this formation, and let's be honest, no style of play. Like, we have basically turned Cunha into a fucking joke. He scored a good goal on Sunday against Leeds. It was the wrong formation for him. The stuff that he did to players like Sesko, the stuff he did to players like Mainu, I don't forget that stuff. There were players that should have been pulled out of the lineup, but he never pulled them out. Dalot, for fuck's sake, Dalot. Like, Dalot has been in, week out. He's been okay the last couple of weeks. He's been attempting to do things. He's been trying. But Kev and I could put a United shirt on, and I guarantee you, we would try our fucking asses off. I would give everything for that club. But I would be abysmal. Les Ferdinand could run rings around me. Do you know what I'm saying? Alan Shearer could run rings around me. Ay, caramba. I think it was Joel Glazer and mainly Woodward that got rid of Solskjaer. Woodward was a fucking joke anyway. If you want a fraud that plays with tactic boards in torrential rain, Wilfred Nancy is also free. And Celtic sat Nancy today as well, didn't they?
You know who have to put that, but you know who they've put back in charge?
Have they put O'Neill back in charge? That's hilarious, by the way. Amorim was the Ted Lasso of Manchester. No, Ted Lasso's a hero.
You know, I thought we'd reached the point of I need to just go back to I need to put a beer for at the back. I thought we'd already reached that point. What a mad situation that he just changed it.
He didn't know. Because
sort of said, I haven't got the players to play in the formation that I want. He said that. He said those words out loud. I thought, well, there we go. There's the realisation. But we can relax a little bit. We can have a back four.
What he did was he this is where the arrogance in him come out. He did the back four. We did well. And then he said all week in the press, I did it because I wanted to, not because you lot said I wanted to. And it's like he went, right, now they think I'm going to do that. I'm going to twist it again. And I genuinely feel like Wolves thought we were going to set up with a back four, so went to the three. I genuinely
second guessing, but he definitely said, "I know we don't have the players to play in the formation." Now he didn't follow it up with, "So I'm going to play a back four from now on," but he did say that, he did use that phrase. "I know we don't have the players to play in the best players to play in the system that I use." He said that. So I thought, oh, well, okay, we've realised we can't use that system currently. Like you said, it does work because Glasner's made it work at Crystal Palace, but he's more adaptable, and they've got better players to play in that system as well.
I agree. Warbso, I wondered how long it'd be. Warbso, you must be buzzing. He said, wasn't good enough. He needed to adapt whilst they bolstered the squad. I agree with that. You cannot just buy 11 new players for his formation. He wanted, and I agree with that. No club gave him that. Very poor coach, in my opinion. Look, as I say, look at the stat. In fact, you know something? I've got it up here. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it. Yeah, stats. Let me bring this up. Let me zoom it in a little bit. Zoom it in. And let me share this, okay? This is post Alex Ferguson. Post Alex Ferguson. Let me share this. Oh, share. If I could turn back time. Right then. So look, that, I'm sorry, that as a Manchester United manager is abysmal.
Abysmal.
It's a bit. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge for double the amount of games and more. Only lost 5 games more than him. Ten Hag lost 8 games more than him, and he was atrocious towards the end. Jose Mourinho lost less games than him. This is everything you need to know. I don't agree with the way Manchester United have come about it, saying it's because of the results. Because let's be honest, up until 6 weeks ago, that twat Sir Jim kept saying he's here for 3 years. I love him. It's this, it's that.
Oh, they're replaying that now as well.
Are they? Of course they will.
Replayed, yeah.
He's taken a massive L, by the way, Sir Jim. That guy knows nothing about football. That guy knows about as much as football as I know about women's makeup. I'm telling you. Actually, to be fair, I'm quite good with women's makeup.
I was just going to say.
I've been shopping with you. That's only buying it, not for myself. That's only buying it. Bag of shit down, trying to be posh. Yeah, you know how it is. Can you see Sesko improving now? There'll be a change of formation. Who knows? Blowy's off. I'll catch you later, Blowy. Good to see you, mate.
Hello, Blowy.
Steve-O says, Dan, we'll need a poll sometime to find out where these players fit into any future team. What time are we on now? Because I've got to bounce in. Okay, I'll tell you what. Look, we've got 10 minutes. This is what we do on this show. This is what we do. And thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. I wasn't that bad of a... cheers, mate. What a guy. Let's do this. Let us do this.
Let's do it.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing like mammals, so let's do it like they do on the side channels.
Hey.
I'm going to share this. Let me share this tab instead and let me look. Right, 4-2-3-1. We know straight away that Lemmy's in goal. Okay, we know straight away that Lemmy's in goal.
Yep.
Right back. Okay, now this is when we've got a fully fit side. Right back. I don't even think we need to have this argument. I think right back will be this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Fully fit. Oh, I'm doing it on the screen there. Right, fully fit. We know that it's going to be Mazraoui. Okay. Now, centre backs. Your 2 centre backs. Who are we saying? I think we know that the left-sided will always be, and I think he's been mint since he comes back. Martinez. So who do we put to play alongside?
I thought. I'm less worried about him now he's back. I was, and other people have been as well. It's not just me. Worried about how he was going to come back after the injury, but he seems to have come back as he was before. I'm less worried that he's going to be less of a player now after that injury.
I think it's this guy here. I think De Ligt's been quality this season. The left back, we know who the left back's going to be. It'll be Luke Shaw because we haven't got another left back. That is your back 4, okay? The midfield, we're talking fully fit here, okay? Dan United, Kev United. Who are we putting in the midfield? Because I can tell you right now, that guy will be there. Bruno will be back in that 10. So who are you putting in the midfield? Kev, who you going?
Well, it's not going to be Agate.
I think Carl.
It's going to be Casemiro and Mainu.
I agree. And there's a lot of people saying that. So hang on a minute. Let's do that. Casemiro, Mainu. Okay. Wide right. Who are you playing wide right? I think we already know. I don't think we even need to. I don't think I even need to ask that.
A little bit, doesn't it?
Wide left. Who are you picking there? Don't even have to ask. Matthias Cunha. I keep clicking on the wrong screen, and then we go Sesko up top. Now with that fully fit, that is a 4-2-3-1 that will do well. On the bench, you've got Xerxes, you've got Ugarte, you've got Mount, you've got Ahmad, you've got Dalot.
Mount's not even getting into that team.
No, of course he's not. You've got Dorgu. Okay, then you've got your goal. This here will do better. This here will do better. And let me tell you something else as well. Let's say Man United, to try and appease the fans, do a madness. Right? Let's say they do a madness and they go, do you know what? We're going to go out there and we're going to spend the money. That team.
Somebody else? Yeah, Casemiro would be straight out.
That team there, I'm telling you now, Manchester United would play better football with that. Brian Mbeumo running down that wing, cutting in on the right, off the right wing. Cunha running down that left hand side, cutting in with his right foot. Bruno Fernandes pulling strings in that 10 role, not fucking falling about. The midfield too. Let me just get rid of Belaber a second because he's not.
Would be better for Sesko, I think, being much closer to him.
That front three, by the way, guys. This front three here, that's scary. That could be very, 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 very talented. I wonder if that man would get more joy. I wonder if Sesko would get more joy. This doesn't have to be the end of the world, okay? That team there will win more games than what we were playing. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
It's a nice team, isn't it?
It's a nice team. And let me tell you something else as well. Let me just stop sharing. Let me tell you something else as well. How long have we been calling out for that team for?
You know what? I'm looking at when you add that team up there, you know what? It just jumps out at me now is we definitely need a new left back.
Oh, you greedy bastard.
We need a new left back. How long is Shaw going to go for now?
Shaw will be fit until the World Cup, mate. We know it's.
After that, we need a new left back, don't we?
Ben says Kuno and Bruno would spend more time on the floor and bitching at the ref. Come on now, we're better than that. Regardless of what you say about Bruno is still picking up stupid numbers. Would Bruno stick around now that Amorim's gone? He had a good relationship. Absolutely.
Oh, maybe Bruno for the manager. Remember he made that comment? I think he wants my job. He said.
No, absolutely not.
Maybe they'll sound him out.
I want to see Leon get more opportunities, but unfortunately the FA Cup hasn't been kind to him. The FA Cup draw wasn't kind to him. Louis says, if we get Ollie until the summer, that team would more or less pick itself. It would. Absolutely would. Lawrence says, Kobe 8, Bruno 10, Mason 9, Ahmad 10, Mbeumo wing back, Dorgu wing back, or whatsoever. As long as Bruno is 10 again, Bruno will be 10. Mm-hmm. And Chappie says, you watch Rashford return. Fucking hell. I tell you what, actually, just to close the show, who was the one person that got a load of airtime today because he liked the post that he got sacked?
What, Neville?
Nope.
Carragher.
Nope. No. I'll give you a clue, mate. He's got turkey teeth and a shit fucking haircut, and he plays for Chelsea.
Oh, Garnacho.
The little rat.
Right? I've not seen enough of it. I've not had enough time to. I just got back, did my videos, and then watched a little bit, and then I've come on to this. I've not seen enough. I'll get an evening of watching all this nonsense.
If there's one thing that Amorim did absolutely spot on, was get that little prick out of it. That little prick, honestly, as soon as he liked it, I won't tell you what I put in the 12th man chat, but it was not PG, put it that way.
Oh, dear.
If there is anyone out there still saying Amorim in, he has a 38% win rate, 31% in the Premier League Wolves, 15 wins in total. Yeah, one win a month. It's not good enough. Look, guys, it's been an emotional one tonight. 50% of you have said neither. I'm going to end the poll there, right? It's been emotional, but do you know something? What I will say is this, right? Ruben Amorim may not have been everyone's cup of tea, but he did give us this. Is it back to... Oh! Ball played back across. And it's Maguire! He gave us that, and we'll be forever grateful. He did get Sancho out too as well. Watch Sancho watch Ollie come back and recall Sancho off loan and say, Sancho-y, I've got you. Come on. Anyway, guys, look, enjoy your evenings. This is, by the way, this has only just begun. This isn't endgame yet.
Yeah, there's so much more to come out about.
There is so much more. So much more.
Bloody hell,
we will be here every step of the way. I've got to go on to the 12th man in a second and try and defend myself, which I don't understand why I've got to defend myself when it's fucking... it's obvious why you got sacked. Hi, guys. Do you think a manager like Javi can take a subpar squad team like United and at least make him a top four? I'll be honest with you, I'm not overly sold on Xavi.
There's lots of names. I did see another list of names as well. Zidane was on there as well, and Gareth Southgate, for F's sake. Oh
yeah. Well, there is that as well. There is that. Carl, just Google football's 12th man, mate. It's on. Just put on YouTube 12th man. I'm sure they are good. And Carl says Dan Martinez at centre back. Look, a centre defence midfielder, guys. I feel like we got a lot off our chest. This isn't the end of Manchester United. I will end it on this. Some of you are hurting, and that's fine. This isn't the end of Manchester United, okay? Manchester United was here long before Ruben Amorim, and it will be long here afterwards, okay? We will be fine. It's all about who we get next. Whoever we get next, they better make sure they're ready. Kev, anything before we go?
No, I think we've said it. I think we said it all. It said it all. Very indifferent at the end of the day, and I'll need to go and watch some of the stuff back. Just not had a chance, and I will watch some of it. So this is going to rumble on, as you said. This is not the last time we're going to talk about this. Clearly, is it? So
let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Other than that, guys, thank you very much. Make sure you like and subscribe on the way out. Put your comments in if you're watching this back. I'll try and get back to you. Other than that, guys, Dan United, Kev United, Ruben Amorim, Ulta.